Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing good today. I'm doing well. I disappointed you guys on last week. You don't have to tell me. I know I'm a disappointment. It was this show and these Friday nights. If I got something to do, it will get me every single time, even with my best intentions. And I was too through last weekend, y'all. I had way too much going on, so I apologize. But I'm here this week. It's late in the midnight hour, but I am up watching the show as I review the way that I normally do. And I had to hit pause early in the episode because they done already got started. So y'all, let's get to it while I got the energy. Let's get to it. So we pick up with the couples having a round couch discussion about this whole Jeffrey and Blake situation. And they kind of going back and forth. It's not lost on me that Blake and Sue are dressed similar in similar colors. But they're going back and forth with each other. And Sue is just kind of like, don't say my name anymore, Jeffrey. Jeffrey keep going back and forth with her with the advocate Sue. You know, I want this whole thing with Jeffrey and Blake and Sue to just go ahead and die down so we can move on from it. Sue and Blake were over there snickling. I was like, okay, they over there laughing at you, Jeffrey. They really got a connection going on. But you know what I did notice is that none of the gentlemen piped up and said that Blake was lying. And not that I don't think the guys would stick together, because they absolutely would stick together, even if Blake was, you know, not telling the truth. But, you know, there's always one traitorous man in the lounge that's going to speak up and say, well, Blake, she was in your top. And nobody said anything. So I just, child, I got a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not on Blake's side with this, am I? No, I'm not. I'm not saying I'm on anybody's side, but I'm just saying that something does seem awry. That's all I'm going to say. But I want them to move on from it because it's getting catty. And y'all know I hate when the girls get catty. I don't like that. So, after the round couch discussion, everybody separates off into their little individual groups. Oh, child, I'm trying to keep up with everything that happens. So, my boy Pratt is back from the COVID. He has returned, honey. He's like Lazarus. He is back from the COVID. And Pratt is, he making up for lost time. So Pratt is talking to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's just like, oh, I had to handle some things. I hope it's not you know how she do. She had to handle some stuff, so she hoping it's not a turn off to old Pratt. It's not a turn off to Pratt. Pratt kissing on her and whatnot. Pratt also goes over to Mercedes, and Mercedes is just like, I'm good on you. Because Pratt apparently was really upset that Mercedes did not reach out to him while he was sick. And he said that Mercedes was one of his top connections. And I was really thrown by that, y'all, because I don't remember, and I know we don't see everything. I didn't know that Pratt and Mercedes had such a strong connection. You know, that was a little bit lost on me, but apparently they did enough so that Pratt was really upset about it, and he had called Mercedes out about it. But he said he really felt some type of way, and so now he's trying to talk to Mercedes. Mercedes doesn't really look like she's feeling it, but we'll get back there later. What else happened? Morgan. I think I said in one of the episodes that I was kind of waiting on what I could see from Morgan, but I had some thoughts about Morgan that I didn't want to say quite yet. I'm almost ready to say them. I think Morgan is just, I don't think Morgan knows how to date the way that she believes she knows how to date. Like, I think she believes she got it in the bag. She understands how this thing goes. She understands how the courting process works and how to do. I don't think Morgan really understands it like that. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all probably don't get what I'm saying, because I barely get what I'm saying. But they're sitting there and they're talking to Anthony, him and Marcia. And child, Anthony don't care what they talking about. Anthony sniggling and giggling. Is Anthony even interested in either one of them like that? Like, this show gets so confusing, but Morgan is fussing at him for not wanting to court a woman and not wanting to chase a woman and not really, he got to make sure that he gets in touch with these women. He got to make sure he's talked to these women and all of these. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute, y'all. My thoughts are everywhere. But bottom line, Anthony's sitting there laughing like he don't really care about nothing they talking about. So It really doesn't even matter. Then over on the other couch, we got London and my girl, I'm gonna call her Joe because I forgot her whole name, but I know it starts with a Joe. And what, baby? Like, I want her to, I know she's 30, maybe 31. I want her to move past that look that she has. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like that very it's clubbish. It kind of reminds me of not brunch. It's not quite brunch, but it's not really giving day party either. It's a look. Okay, it's a particular kind of look. And I don't want her to have that. Like, I think she's a beautiful girl. She's voluptuous, but she still has a nice shape. And everything don't gotta be, lycra and stretch and peekaboo and bodysuit. If I see her in one more one piece, y'all, and I don't want to see her in a matching set either because it's gonna be stretchy and it's gonna be giving that same look. She's a beautiful girl. I just want her to, style it up a little bit. It don't all got to look like that. But she over there talking to London, and London is talking about how he got friend zoned by Mercedes, even though he really liked her. Really, the two of them, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with them because I don't feel like they have any strong connections like that either. So I guess we'll see. But y'all, let's keep watching, child. Let's keep watching. Okay, so Pratt and Mercedes do have a conversation, and Mercedes is very much like me, out of sight, out of mind. That's where I was with it. It seems to have hurt Pratt's feelings, but baby, that's just what it is. And they made it sound like you wasn't coming back, Pratt. So I mean, it is. I probably would have been like Mercedes too. People have called me mean in the past, so maybe I am, but I'm very much an out of sight, out of mind girl. You get missing from me and my feelings start going elsewhere. Okay. I am not an absence makes the heart grow fonder type of girl. That's my truth. And I'm sticking to it. So Pratt gets up. He don't want to have nothing to do with Mercedes. Oh, you missed out, Mercedes. You missed out on the ponytail, puff, braid, tendril. So he gonna go on about his business. He go back over there probably to console Jeffrey. Then we have Morgan. And Morgan in this scene is showing what I thought about her. She's giving Denise 2.0. Do y'all remember how Denise used to unlock her crazy every now and then? And I think we tried to vouch for her because we thought Denise was very beautiful and we liked her aura. And when she had something wise to say, it was good. But later we found out on the reunion that Denise was indeed crazy. And it's all right. It's a lot of beautiful, crazy people. Morgan, I'm not saying you crazy. I'm just saying that you are. I'm getting insecure. Is Tony a player? Yes. As every time Tony comes on screen, I hear, I'm a player. Y'all remember that Tyrese song off of Baby Boy when Pandora walked in the room? That's what Tony gives every time he's on the screen. And it just kind of is what it is. If that's not your type of dude, if you don't like all of that suave, baby, what you talking about? What you mean? I wasn't licking my lips. That's just not a man that's your speed. Some women can't do that whole, super flirtatious vibe. I might be one of them, but I'm not going to hound you about it because it seems like that's one of his personality traits. That's just who he is. That's Tony Tone. I'm sure they call him Tone around his hometown. So Morgan is telling him he be too friendly with these women and you be doing too much and you be staring at them too much. Like, I don't like that. Them supposed to be mine. Denise, Morgan, this is not how it works. Okay. Yes, express how you feel. Yes, express I like you. Sometimes it's even safe with some men, depending on who it is, to express like, oh, sometimes I do get a little jealous, during the process. But know that this is the process and this is what it is. Personally, Tony never fooled me with all that prayer and all that other stuff he was doing, child. I saw the play. I'm a player. I saw it from a mile away. And if anybody else don't see it, you're just a fool. A damn fool at that. Okay, so nephew Tyler Perry has to meet with everybody because somebody got to get ready to go home. So in these meetings, we discuss who's at the top. Okay, so I guess I'll start with the gentlemen because the gentlemen were actually really funny. So Tony Tone, let me start with him. Big Tone. He's talking about Morgan and their kiss and the sunset, and y'all, London and Anthony are over there clowning, and I'm over here laughing, looking at them, laughing at him. So when it's London's turn to talk, he was like, Morgan is in my top two, but there was no sunset. And Tony Tone was over there looking at London, do you know I will stab you? Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me get serious. I know I done got on y'all nerves during this review. I'm sorry. Let me get it together. So he is not amused with London talking about his top pick is Morgan and clowning him about the sunset. Who else of the ladies were in the top? Mercedes' name was mentioned a couple of times. Jeffrey's name was on the list, and this just confirms what I have always said. Now, I don't think Jeffrey is the B word, and I don't think she's a mean woman, but she is a woman that don't play, and I've always said, men, I don't think in general they like nice women. I don't. I think they like women who are that's not gonna play with them, and it's not rude to them, but a little bit mean. Just a little snatch mean. And Jeffrey does give that kind of energy while also being very soft. She pulls it off very well, and even Mark Anthony got her in his top pick, and Mark Anthony, he ain't even got no churn. Okay, I think Jeffrey got 3 of them. So, child, she doing better. She doing something better than me. I'll just say that. Who else's name got mentioned? Marcy got mentioned for Big Tone, but for the most part, Jeffrey's name went around a lot. Mercedes' name went around a couple of times, and then Morgan, I just brought that up because those two made me laugh. Now, when we get over to the ladies' side, whose name gets brought up a lot, Tony. Okay, Tony was a commodity around there. Who else? Andre. Andre was definitely in a lot of people's top, especially Cynthia, who never left the top for her. Then let's get on to who is at the bottom. Oh, and Blake is Sue's top. But Mark Anthony's name was also tossed around a couple of times. My bad, y'all. I'm remembering as I go. But who is at the bottom? Blake's name does get thrown out there again. Also, Anthony, interestingly enough, gets thrown out there. So apparently more than one of the ladies have come to the conclusion that Anthony's not really showing up in the process. Like, he'll be attentive with you. You guys will talk. You'll think y'all hit it off really well. And then the next day, he won't have much to say to you. You won't really be able to tell if he likes you or not. I was really surprised that Sue-Ann had another man in her top picks. But it's good that she does, okay? Because you never want to put all your eggs in one basket. But when we get over to the gentleman's side, Sue-Ann is nobody's top pick, which I expected, because I think everybody kind of now sees her as Blake's girl. But in the bottom, I think we had, her name came up, there's nothing there. Jonique, her name came up as well. And Mercedes' name, of course, came up because she didn't give Andre a call when he was sick. Mark Anthony said sucks for him because Mercedes would call me. I said, y'all better. Not the men being petty in the confessionals. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So anyway, we have to decide who is going to get the axe, who is going to have to go home. We're getting to that weird part of the show where some people's connections have been solidified and there's probably not going to be a wrench in the game. I think Blake and Sue-Ann, I haven't watched the whole show yet. If they don't end up going home together at the end of this episode, I don't really see why, because Blake has already said he's not going to force a connection with any other woman. He's not going to play like he likes another woman. He is not here to tell these women what they want to hear. He's not going to do any of that. So if he's already set his sights on Sue-Ann, then it's kind of a done deal. He just said he's not going to do that with anybody else, right? And I want to be clear, you guys, I don't have a problem with Blake being straightforward or honest or any of that. I just don't think he has the personality for a dating show. you kind of gotta, the dating show pretty much works off of flattery. If a woman came on this show and was just like, I don't care about none of these men, once I lock in on somebody, that's just what it is, and I don't play about these men, and I'm not finna settle for this, I'm not finna settle for that, he not finna talk to me crazy, if he don't have this going on, I'm definitely not finna have no more kids, y'all would be like, you're coming on a little strong there. Can we get a little flattery, charm, femininity, your favorite F word? It just wouldn't be a thing, you know? So I'm not saying he needs to lie or tell women what they want to hear. Of course not. But when you come on a dating show, you have to be open. You have to be at least be able to talk and carry on a conversation, even if it's a person that you don't really like, because it is a dating show. You can't sit at the date mute. He just doesn't have a personality for it. I hope that makes sense. But whatever, child. We need to decide who about to go home. So let me go back to watching the show. Now wait a minute. Nephew Tyler Perry, you done pulled a fast one. Who said that we could snatch the lifeline away and it had a time limit on it? It had an expiration date. That was not in the original terms and agreement. See, this is why folks don't like doing business with black people sometimes, because y'all like to change the rules at the last minute, and I don't like it, Nephew Tyler Perry. I knew you was a scam artist when I seen you lying about being with your woman for 20 some odd years, and y'all just got married a couple of years ago. We should have known better with you. He has now snatched the lifeline away from the gentleman, but I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So the ladies put Mark Anthony and Anthony on the chopping block. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, y'all should have went ahead and sent Mark Anthony home. The reason why I say that is because when I look at his face, that is the face of somebody that's about to take revenge. Mark Anthony didn't crack a smile. He was not grateful to go back over to the line. He was not grateful for the lifeline. Mark Anthony looked like he about to find out who put his name in the bottom. He about to find out who vouched for him when it was time to do that lifeline. And even if he do find out who did what, he looked like he about to treat all y'all the same. He looked like he about to say, I bet y'all will never get one over on me again. Mark Anthony looked like he about to try to make it to the finale just to tell you he don't want you. Ooh, baby, it's written all over your face. It's written all over his face. But the lifeline was used for him. Anthony was also safe. What's going on with Anthony's hair? He had a little patch in it or something. He better get with Pratt and see how he get his tendrils going. But everybody's safe. Okay. All right. Anthony got to show up a little bit more. Mark Anthony. I think the women just want to know if you serious. But y'all, he's serious now. I tell you that. Y'all about to get seriously played by Mark Anthony. Mark my words. The gentlemen, okay, on their side. On the chopping block, we got Jonique. And on the chopping block, we got Sue-Ann. Non-production wise, Sue-Ann should have been the one that went home because she only has one connection. Non-production wise, Blake should have been the one to go home because he only has one connection. But we know we are ready to love veterans. We know how it goes, right? Raise your hand, veterans. If you know, we know. We've been here since season 1. Okay, when they had 11 women and 10 men. So we already know how it goes. So they're here. Let's get over it. Jonique got sent home. Jonique don't really care. Okay, she had that face like, you know, it ain't sorry. It ain't none of that. Okay, because I'm still ready to love. Just I'm not ready to love nobody here. And that's okay with me. So Jonique going home. And that's when Nephew Tyler Perry pulled a fast one, y'all. Pulled a fast one. He said the lifeline had an expiration date. I bet you wish you would have used. Shut up. Sitting around here pulling a fast one on people like that. I tell you what, that doggone Nephew Tyler Perry think he nickel slick, but I got his penny change. Let's move on. All right, y'all. It's 2 a.m. and my energy is going down. I done worked today. I got to work again tomorrow. I'm trying to keep it up for y'all. So we got 2 days. Sue-Ann and Anthony. We got Jeffrey and Mark Anthony. Oh, gosh. They're going to give me a tongue tie. So Sue-Ann and Anthony's date. Anthony is going to make a meal for Sue-Ann. Sue-Ann looked very pretty in her yellow. Anthony had a very nice home. I love those chairs at his bar. But he asked her to prepare the salad. I was just like, child, don't invite me over. Because I'm not preparing nothing. I'm sitting down and I'm waiting on the food to get done. But Sue Ann does the salad, and she was like, oh, if I do this wrong, I'll disqualify myself. If I'm even qualified, in my day. So she's trying to figure out where she stands. And Anthony is playing coy at first, but he realizes we halfway through the process. We got to go ahead and make our things plain. So he does say, yes, you are. You are up there. You definitely are a pick of mine. Not picked, sorry. You definitely are in my top choices. And so Sue Ann is pleased to hear that. And she was like, well, I wasn't sure because there's a lot of, amazing women or something along those lines, or standout women. And Anthony makes the comment, yeah, like some women stand out, but there are a lot of amazing women, but some women stand out more than most. And then there's this long pause. I felt like Anthony was trying to give her a compliment by saying, like, I agree with you. There are a lot of amazing women, but some women stand out more than most. Like, you stand out more than most. But he didn't really follow it up. And I don't think Sue Ann was catching it. If it was a compliment, I don't think she was taking it like that. So there's just this long, awkward pause. Once they recover from the pause, Sue Ann does say that she wasn't really sure about Anthony because it seems like 1 minute he's like, kind of up on her. She's not sure about his energy, like his sexual energy, she even says. And when they were dancing together, she saw more of it, but then he goes back into his shell. Maybe Anthony is just shy, but again, this is Ready to Love, all your little personality quirks, in the regular dating world. I understand you want to find somebody that's going to be understanding of your quirks. On Ready to Love, everybody got to be extroverted and ready to go. Okay, that's just what it is. I wouldn't go on the show because I don't have a personality for a dating show. I know that about myself. I wouldn't get on there and be mad that everybody didn't like me when I know I don't have a personality to be on no dating show. Come on now. So Anthony is just like, we gonna dance before you leave, because I guess that's when he get his inhibitions off, right? So they do dance, and I was really hoping that this date went really well, because I thought it would really be something if Blake only liked Sue Ann, but Sue Ann had some options. That would be cool to me, but it's not gonna happen, so don't worry about it. Jeffrey and Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony, I'm gonna tell you this one time and one time only. You can keep them bedroom eyes inside your head. Okay, because I'll take you up out of this restaurant. He was real close to Jeffrey the whole time. Real pushed up on her. Real smoldering. Real look you in your eyes. And I really think Mark Anthony was about to get sexy with it. But Jeffrey got serious with it first. So she's talking about how she doesn't even know if she can always be vulnerable. And there's certain things that she wants to reveal. But she's nervous because she doesn't want these things like used against her. I get it. Okay. Definitely have felt like this before. She lets Mark Anthony know that she has Crohn's disease. Mark Anthony said, wow. Y'all, why Mark Anthony don't even know what that is? I'm not saying I'm expecting him to. I'm just saying his reaction looked genuinely shocked, but he still don't know what she's talking about. So from what I know about Crohn's disease, it is like a gastrointestinal type of disease, very inflammatory, very harmful, can be very painful, can cause a lot of health problems, anemia, problems with your weight fluctuating. It can develop, and sometimes it will, depending on your risk, develop into colon cancer. That's very common for some Crohn's disease patients, depending on how bad it is for you. I don't know if y'all remember, but some years ago, I did actually lose somebody due to complications with Crohn's disease. I don't remember what show I was reviewing at the time. Y'all have been with me for so long, and I've lost so many family members and friends. So y'all probably can't even pinpoint when this time was, but it was a girl. I grew up around her. She was the sister of my very good friend. Crohn's disease complications, 28 years old, y'all. Still floors me. It still floors me that she is not here. But anyway, so yes, very serious disease, no laughing matter, okay? But many people live with it every day. She does have her 3 babies, and I'm sure that didn't come without complications, you know. But Mark Anthony asks, like, how does it affect her children when she does get sick? And she gets emotional and was like, you know, they just try to see me as strong, but it does hurt them when I'm sick. That's why Jeffrey tries to keep her stress levels down and all of that. It also can make her very tired, which would explain, because sometimes Jeffrey does look tired. I know she has small eyes, but there are times on the show where I'm like, she looks like she is completely washed out. So yeah, just another thing that, you know, you got to decide if that's something that you want to deal with. And it seems like Mark Anthony, at least at that time, wanted to be a support to her, but we'll see how it goes moving forward. Okay, so Mark Anthony and Mercedes go out, and Morgan and Tony go out. Let me get Morgan and Tony out the way. Morgan is fussing and chastising at Tony once again that he need to narrow it down. He need to clean it up. He need to make a decision. Then she tries to throw in London again. I don't know why she thinks she gonna make Big Tone jealous. This Big Tone. All right, that's what they call him in the streets. He ain't never had to worry about no woman, no man, being no competition when it come to Big Tone. He don't care. He even said, like, London is no competition for me. And she was like, well, he don't back down from you. She said, you know, he said, you know, in the end, that's not going to be good for London. Big Tone don't care, Morgan. Stop these games that you're trying to play with this man and stop chastising him about what he need to do. Every date that we see y'all have is you fussing at him about what he needs to do in regards to this competition. And I'm telling you, I'm sure you're not doing that all the time when y'all are together, but that's what we see. And if you are doing a lot of that, it is a turnoff. It's a turnoff. Nobody's going to want to. I get it, though. I get it, right? Ladies, we say it all the time. Like, you can't play games up until the very end. You do have to narrow it down. But you also, at some point, have to show some confidence in your position and in your connection with somebody. Morgan's not doing that. She's running she's trying to run a game with Big Tone, and Big Tone ain't going for it because he's solid in every connection he got. He probably got some off the show, too. So he's not really worried about it, Morgan. Just have a good time with that man. He having a good time with you. He don't even take Morgan seriously half the time. He just be sitting there staring and chuckling at her. Moving on. Mercedes and Mark Anthony. Oh, child, it's something about watching 2 very good looking people flirt with each other. Y'all, I felt like I needed to close my eyes at some points. I was like, what? Do y'all need to be excused? Like, is this date going to continue? Are y'all going home together after the date? I mean, Mercedes was giving him the eye. He was giving Mercedes the eye. I didn't even think Mercedes had it in her. She seemed like such a sweet girl. I was so shocked. Honey, that bubbly personality got down to flirty and nasty real quick, right? I ain't mad, girl. I ain't mad. But, you know, she was rubbing on his arms. And he said, all right, you keep it up, and it's going to be more than a genie that pop out. I said, what? Wait, now hold on. Wait. What kind of genie we talking about? They talking about, dude, she got to rub it 3 times. And, you know, it's a bunch of giggles. And it's funny. It's cool. I ain't know Morgan had it in her, y'all. She seemed real innocent, but them always be the ones. He says what he likes about her. It's very surface. And that's what I'm saying with Mark Anthony. And that's why I see why some of the women thought that way about him, because it is very surface. But he's talking about her laugh and how bubbly she is and her personality, and she's always smiling. I mean, it's cute, right? It's cute, but we got to go deeper than that, right? We're halfway through the process. Now that kiss, way better than him and Jeffrey's kiss. Him and Jeffrey's kiss had me worried. It looked like a nibble, but they kiss. Y'all better go ahead. I like what I was seeing. Thank you. You gave me what I needed. Gave me a little nightcap. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed nice and easy tonight, but not like that. But y'all know what I mean. I'm gonna sleep well. So, she did mention, which I love, that she also is interested in getting her private pilot license. Love that for her. I love seeing lady pilots. Y'all know I'm in the Air Force, so I'm all about that. I've thought about doing it myself, but I can barely drive, so probably shouldn't be up in the air, you know, getting y'all around. But kudos to her, honey. She gonna be a real cute little pilot in that outfit. Girl, do your thing. And Mark Anthony, y'all, why I got a feeling he not smart? I don't know why I have a feeling that he might be a little smidge slow talking about it. I just thought it was old white guys that could fly planes. And so I asked, and he was like, there's schools, there's classes. Duh. What you thought people was getting? Boy, hush. Maybe he said it as a joke, y'all. Let me get up off Mark Anthony. He can come over here though, Mark Anthony. I'm sorry, baby, if you want to come talk to me. I don't think you slow at all. I'm just saying I might not procreate with you, but I don't think I'm sleepy, y'all. Let's just get to the end. All right, y'all. So it actually is the end of the show. That's how tired I am. I ain't even realized that we had came up on the end, but this is the end of the show, and they do show previews for next week. Looks like they're going to either be meeting the family or meeting the friends. I couldn't really tell exactly what it was, or at least meeting somebody close to the ladies, or the other, the other side. I think it's the lady side. So we'll see how that goes next week. Look like my boy Pratt wasn't feeling it, y'all. He got up and walked away. So I'm looking forward to that. What did you guys think about the episode? What do you guys think about the lifeline, the eliminations? Are we mad at nephew Tyler Perry? Child, I am. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next one. Bye.